Hello, and welcome to today's webinar with Zen Business. At Zen Business, we're committed to helping everybody unleash their inner entrepreneur. Those of you that have taken the leap into entrepreneurship know it's no easy task. Our company simplifies small business ownership from the creation of your LLC to providing tools that support the financial management and marketing of your business. Check out zenbusiness.com to learn more. To our current customers, thank you for your business and welcome back. Today, we will be providing a baseline knowledge for those of you interested in unleashing additional success through women-owned certification. While I am your live guide, the important information will be coming from 3 stellar women with firsthand knowledge. They are joining us with pre-recorded messages. Throughout the presentation, please chat to give us any questions you might have. And one of our co-presenters, Natalie, will be in the chat also answering your questions. Natalie, thank you for joining us during the live chat. Before we jump into the presentation, I want all of us to sit with these facts. Women are a massive, massive part of the small business community. We are making a difference to the economy, to other people by bringing jobs. I want you all to understand the impact you're having and why this presentation is so important. Today, we're going to explore the primary types of certification. We will be hearing from the Small Business Administration about their women-owned small business program. We'll understand by listening to other entrepreneurs why this is a benefit to your company and how to apply the certification to your brand story and business. First, let's start with the background, right? Why get certified? 1, access to government contracts. You'll hear from one of our co-hosts. She beseeches you to think about the why. Why are you doing this? It's a lot of work. You should be proud of it when you do it. But if you want access to government contracts, it's really the #1 reason I would consider doing this. The next one, of course, is other opportunities with businesses that prioritize working with women-owned businesses. Beyond that, access to funding and grants, brand differentiation, which we will be talking about later, and the networks, the connections that come along with certification are very powerful. And we'll be hearing about that from one of our guests too. I'm going to go ahead and mention these 2 primary certifications. It's the Women Business Enterprise certification and the WOSB from the SBA. Note that these are not the only 2 certifications out there. There are state-level certifications and other national ones like the National Minority Supplier Development Council certification that may also be important for your business. Together, these are all going to provide different types of opportunities, so you need to research which ones are best. In the chat, I see someone saying that they went after state ones before they went with national ones so that they could get the paperwork together and figure out the process. That's a great suggestion. Now, let's start with the experts. We are so grateful to be hearing directly from the Small Business Administration today. I want to thank Alisa for her time and jump in and start the video.
Hello, I am Alisa Sheard with the U.S. Small Business Administration in the Office of Government Contracting and Business Development. Here at SBA, I am the Women-Owned Small Business Federal Contracting Program Director. So I manage and oversee the certification process for women-owned small businesses seeking to participate in our federal contracting program for the federal marketplace. I'm here today to share some information about the WOSB program and why it may be of interest to you and why you might be also considering certifying or getting certified by SBA for participating in federal contracting opportunities. So let's jump into a little bit more about the WOSB program. Its purpose is to help level the marketplace in the federal marketplace and in industries where women have been underrepresented, and meaning in opportunities that women-owned small businesses are not shown to have historically received contract awards, or industries are not a lot of awards made to women-owned small businesses. It depends on how you want to frame it. The program allows for federal contracting officers to limit contracting opportunities to just those that are participating in this program. Firms that participate in this program can have one of two designations. They can be designated as a women-owned small business, or they can be designated as an economically disadvantaged women-owned small businesses. And there are industries that are assigned to both categories, where the federal government can limit competition for those that carry those designations. Those that are also economically disadvantaged certified firms can bid on both WSB opportunities and EdWASB opportunities. Also, those that are certified as economically disadvantaged can take advantage of other federal government services and programs, such as those available in our 8A Business Development Program. These are technical assistance, counseling, resources that are provided us available under our regulation in our 8A program. So those are reasons why the program exists, but let me tell you a little bit more about why you should consider certifying for the program. It is industry based. So, like I shared, projects are determined or placed into the program based on which industry they could be for. So, firms could be in administrative services or IT services or construction companies or engineering companies. These are all types of companies that are certified in our program, but these are also industries where contracting officials can place work into our program. And these firms that participate can bid on it. Currently, we have over 9,000 women-owned small businesses that are formally certified by SBA as a program participant, and that number is climbing every single week. We do anticipate to continue to see high volumes of applications, and we do look forward to trying to expand and share what those resources are available to our program participants as we continue to support those that are participating in our program. Those that are in the program find out through working through our external partnerships with programs such as our Challenge Her initiative that we partner with Women Impacting Public Policy, as well as American Express. And these are webinars, educational seminars for those that are learning about the federal marketplace, looking to grow their business, and going through Challenge Her or attending one of our in-person day events where they can receive in-person conversations, insights, knowledge about the federal marketplace and how you as a small business owner could be successful as many others have with our Challenge Her program. And so I just wanted to make sure that you all are well informed about why this program could be of use to you, why you may want to consider applying. You want to make sure you visit wosb.certify.sba.gov if you are seeking to apply, or if you want to just learn more about the program. On that website, we have a prepare tab that we can give you a list of all of the documentation that we require and we review for your application. We also have an extensive knowledge base with answering all of your questions that you likely have about your application. And we also have lots of videos, small, short videos to help explain the requirements for our program and the kinds of documents that we look for and what those documents should look like. I also wanted to share like some of those challenges that we see for many of our applicants, so that you can be armed and ready to take action when you're ready to apply for the program. Some of our small businesses, you want to make sure that you, as the woman owner, you are woman owned, you are woman led, you are running your business. You are initiating the process to begin this certification. You have your SAM.gov profile established and you have been assigned a unique entity identifier, a UEI for short. And then you're coming into our system, connecting from our system and the SAM.gov database. But you, as the woman-owned small businesses, are starting this process. Our system does allow for women-owned small businesses to delegate the rest of the application to those that are supporting their business. It might even be your spouse. It could be your accountant. It might even be another person on your team. But we want to encourage that you first start the application, and then you can assign those individuals to finish up the entirety of the most of the application. I apologize. And then we just ask that you come back and complete the signature and final attestation of your actual application. We want to make sure that you have your documents in order. So it is so important that you take a look at the videos that we've posted in our knowledge base. They'll tell you about what that resume should look like. What tax documents are we going to require for our economic disadvantage status? For those that have certain business structures like corporations, we'll tell you what should be in a stock ledger and other things like that. Those are videos that are ready to help inform you on how to successfully navigate the application process. You want to make sure that you have all of your paperwork prepared, organized on your computer before you navigate into the process, because it can get quite difficult if you're finding that you're answering a question and you don't know where that document that you started had in place months ago or years ago when you first formed your company. So you want to make sure you're well prepared to be able to navigate this application successfully, and that you have all of your documentation in place so that you don't create any delays in submitting your application or any delays in our review process for your application. I want to highlight on our website, again, that's wosb.sba.gov. There's information about how you can learn more about the program. We hold monthly webinars explaining about the application process, and we invite you to join us for one of our monthly sessions to learn more about the program and to be able to ask your specific questions related to your business for my team that are made available every single month to support and answer our women-owned small business community. I look forward to seeing your application in our system. I hope that you are experiencing a smooth and successful certification process. And I wish you all much, much luck in your future endeavors as you grow and learn to navigate the federal marketplace. Take care and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thank you, Alisa, for joining us. So we're going to continue down the road here, and first and foremost, remind you of these three key eligibility requirements. Excuse me. You must be a small business by the definition of the SBA. 51% ownership. This is important for those of you that potentially started your business with a spouse and haven't set this up. And there must be a woman running that day-to-day of the business. Beyond that, we ask you to check the websites for any of the more recent requirements. We know that these things change all the time. All of the right information can be found on these websites, and you saw the QR code so that you can easily access those links as well. Next up, I want to remind everyone that this isn't something that's just going to happen overnight. Okay, you have to be prepared, and this webinar is a great first step. You have to, one, have all of your documents in place, your business formation and ownership documents. Proof is in the paperwork that you did to get set up. At Zen Business, you can go into your dashboard and download some of those key documents. Some other requirements may be state level or local license documents. So as you are applying for different licenses for your business, please keep both electronic copies and printed copies of these. I have important papers copied at least twice, and I have a secure file where I keep any important paperwork. Your financial documents and taxes must be in place. Again, if you haven't set up a accounting system, if you haven't set up spreadsheets to manage your business finances, now is the time. Day one is the time to start these good practices. This is regardless of whether or not you're going to apply for one of these certifications, right? You want to have these really wonderful practices in place from day one of your business. Last but not least, other licenses that pertain to your business, personal identification documents. It's likely you're going to have these things notarized, which you'll hear about again and again. So understand where you can do all of these things so that you don't feel overwhelmed when you see the list of documents that you need. And so that you understand that there's a checklist you're going to have to follow. And the closer you are to being prepared, the better. Okay. Now, let's hear Natalie's point of view on why she went after these different certifications and how it's made a difference in her business.
Hello, my name is Natalie Poindexter, and I am the founder and principal of Authentic Inclusion Consulting. And we are a disruptive consulting firm that specializes in curating holistic operational solutions for businesses that are interested in innovation, that are overwhelmed, or that are just not sure how to move past being a small business to a mid-size or mid-size to large business. So businesses that are interested in growth. And we are based in Austin, Texas, and have been in business for about 2 years now. And we are a certified minority business enterprise and women's business enterprise. And I'm here to share a little bit more about my journey of becoming a WBE or a women's business enterprise. And when I first started as an entrepreneur or made the decision to become one and start this business, I had no clue what I was doing. I knew that I needed to get an LLC. I knew that I needed to make sure I was registered and all of the things that come with establishing my business. But I didn't know there was a need or a space of a need for certifications within my business. And so I went ahead and went running full force, right? And this is my lesson, my journey of becoming a WBE. And we were about 6 months old at that point. I pulled together a fantastic team to submit a proposal for the local government entity here. And it was quite an ordeal, right? We spent quite a bit of time pulling together the right people, getting everything submitted on time, and reading everything, right, with a fine-tooth comb. And if you haven't submitted a proposal before, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. And we felt great. I was super proud of my team. We were waiting to hear back. We were one of 3 entities that had submitted, and we get the notification that we are not eligible. We did not do all of the pieces and parts that we were supposed to in order to become the vendor for this project. And so I reached out to the department and I'm like, what did I do wrong? Tell me everything. And they said, well, you don't have anyone on your proposal that is a certified women business enterprise or minority business enterprise. And I said, well, I'm a woman, I'm a minority. Isn't that enough? And they said, no, right? And so I learned that there were actually a variety of different suppliers that would create that give that certification to my business, but I did not know that I needed it. And so I implore you, whether you are interested in doing work with the local government, if you are interested in accessing resources and opportunities, funding opportunities with different organizations like the SBA, I highly, highly recommend getting that certification. For me, I started by doing my certification with the local government, with the city of Austin, and they are separate, right? So you can get it through there, but not everybody recognizes their certification process. And you can get it from a national supplier like the SBA, and not everybody recognizes it at the local level, right? So depending on what it is that you would like to do, making sure that you have, dotted all of your I's and crossed all of your T's prior to submitting a proposal, right? And so that process is quite lengthy. Okay, you have to be prepared before going to do that. And one of the things to prepare for is getting all of your documentation in order. And that is why I have my Zen Business dashboard up, because I was able to go into my portal and pull the majority, honestly, more than not, of all of the templates, all of the documentation directly from this portal, directly from my business documents, my business templates, and it was all in one place. Now, once I pulled all of that, I did have to go through and make sure that I was signing things, that I was finishing them to their fullest extent, right? Filling in my information, etc. And then some of them also need to get notarized. And it is, like I said, it is a lengthy process. So making sure that you print everything that needs to get notarized before you go to the notary. And if you're not sure who your notary is locally, or if you don't have a resource, there's a variety of different folks that can notarize. UPS is a great resource. You can go in, notarized, out the door. But I think the biggest piece about this is also the resources and access that it grants you within the supplier that gives you the certification. So right now I am pending with the SBA of being recognized as an economically disadvantaged women-owned small business, which is a mouthful. They also have simply just a women-owned small business certification as well. And it's the same documentation that I submitted when I went through the process for the city of Austin. And if you have this mapped out, right, and you spend that time and wherever your local, your local government is, wherever you are, and you want to work with them as a vendor and you want to get certified, you get those documents, right? And then you do the same thing for the SBA, and you get it all done at the same time. And so you can submit both of them, all of them, right? If there's another national supplier and there are some that exist as well that you can use, and you can you can pay for that certification, which is one of the things that might circumvent a lot of the waiting time. But it still doesn't make it so that you can do work with certain entities if you don't already have that certification through them as well. So I hope that this is helpful. I hope that this is encouraging, learning from my mistakes, learning from the challenges that have come up throughout my ownership process. But I am excited for you all to go through this, because it really does mean a lot when you already have that certification behind your business's name. You can put it on your website. You can put it on anything where you can be acknowledged for the work that you've done and for the certification that you have. And so again, highly recommend taking a look at your portal. You can check your business records area. You can check your document templates. And again, some of these are within here that you'll need, like your meeting minutes, or your operating agreement, or your articles of formation, right? There's just a a few documents that you'll need that will be duplicative across any process that you go through. So best of luck to you all. Looking forward to being a resource within our community of women business enterprises.
Thank you, Natalie. Natalie sets some really important things that I think most of us as entrepreneurs can relate to. First of all, she said, I went running full force into this process. Entrepreneurs are risk takers. We're going to jump in. We want to make sure we are doing everything we can to get revenue moving for our business. But one of the things that you want to pay attention to when you're taking so much time creating a presentation, creating a pitch that you're going to submit that is highly competitive. What's on the list? If it says, if you're a woman-owned business and have a certification, include it. If it gives you some tips that that's going to be a benefit and you start seeing that often in places where you're applying, that alone may give you the right hint that, hey, this is going to be worth my time. This is going to be worth my investment. The other thing that I absolutely appreciate that Natalie said was, tell me what I did wrong. Tell me why I did not get this job. I think we're afraid to ask when we see something as a failure, but I find that most vendors that want to work with small business owners are willing to help you understand what you can be doing differently to get business with them. So be brave enough to ask what you can change so that you can win that next piece of business. Now I'm going to introduce our last guest speaker, Monique. She is going to share how her brand was helped by having the certification and give you 4 tips that are really important and perfect to seal off today's guest speakers. Let's go meet Monique.
My name is Monique Wilsondebriano. I am the co-owner of Charleston Gourmet Burger Company and Recipe for Retail, and we are proud to be a certified woman-owned business. My husband and I love burgers, and some would say we're obsessed. If you can believe it, our first date was at McDonald's, and that's a true story. Our burger business started in our backyard at a family cookout. We came up with a mix of natural herbs and spices to mix into burger meat before we grilled it. Our family and friends loved it, so much so that I felt that we were onto something and that we needed to sell it, and Charleston Gourmet Burger Company was born. When we started our business, we didn't know anything about certification or how it would actually end up becoming a key ingredient in the success of our business. After getting advice from other entrepreneurs in the consumer packaged goods space, we learned about the woman-owned business certification. Now, I am not going to lie to you and tell you that it was an easy process. But like with anything in life, success is not measured by the absence of challenges, but by the ability to rise above. Certification will not work if you don't work it. I'm going to give you 4 tips on how we leverage our certification with our business and how you can do the same thing. Tip number 1 is we stay engaged with our certifying agencies and we make sure to read the emails that they send out. They are packed with great information and opportunities for you to land business with big companies, okay? Tip number 2, we attend events and trainings that they have. Getting out there and networking gave us the opportunity to make some pretty important connections, and that has opened up so many doors for us. Tip number 3, display your certification on your website, your email signature, and your pitch decks. Just like you're looking to do business with these certain companies, they're looking to do business with you. They want to do business with companies that have the woman-owned certification. Now, tip number 4 is a big one, and I think it's the most important. Knowing your why. Why are you doing this? What's behind your brand? Knowing our why and having a brand story combined with the certification has made us marketable. We've been able to partner with Walmart, Lowe's Home Improvement, and recently Amazon. They have featured our story, and customers now come to their store to buy our products. And that has helped our business to grow, and it's a win-win for everyone. I hope these tips were helpful. And remember, empowered women empower the world.
What's a win-win for me is having these amazing women support this presentation. Know your why, right? Know your why. So important. Her whys were clear. Monique was able to grow her business network and get connected to these absolutely huge companies that her small business may not normally have access to. I'm going to pause and make sure that all of you have Natalie's information and Monique's information. They have offered to connect with you on LinkedIn. Please make sure that you are networking and getting help from your community so that we can continue to help you out. So we're going to go ahead and now think about how, after you've done all this work, had a lot of coffee over that paperwork, right? And you're proud to say, I've got my certification, how you're going to share it. How are we going to get that message out there, right? Monique said, talk loud and clear. Make sure it's on your website. We recommend that you first announce this big win. If you don't have a newsletter already, I beg you to please get moving on that. Every small business should be connecting with their current customers and their leads, doing lead capture for communication and creating a newsletter. At least once a month, you should be doing a push. When you get this big win, let everybody know why it's important. We also recommend that you write a blog post about it so that your customers and your audience, your potential audience, can understand why this was important for your brand. Why does this align with who you are as a business owner? Last but not least, make sure that you start networking with other businesses that believe in supporting women-owned businesses. I want to go back and make sure that we also cover the fact that the logos should be on your website. And I recommend that you put them not just on your homepage in a clear, clean spot, not just on your About Us, also in a clear, clean spot, but also in your footer. People are navigating websites differently now. They know that the footer contains important information. So make sure that it's in these clear locations and don't muffle it in between text or in between a lot of other images. Be proud of the work you've done and make it a clear image on those key pages. You may also, depending on the type of business that you have, put it on your contact us page. Because if that's where people that want to work with you go to get your contact, it's a strong statement there. All right. So those are some quick tips on announcing it, making sure that you're blogging about it, right? That's going to drive search engine optimization. Put that language on your website. It'll explain why it's important. And make sure that you start networking to get the word out that you have done this for your business. Speaking of networking, I jumped onto ChatGPT and did a very quick ask. I said, who do you recommend I network with Now that I'm a women-owned certified business, I asked it for 10 entries. These were the first 10 that came up. I bet if you spend a little bit more time, there's 1,500 of them out there that are interested. I cannot stress the importance of spending time researching the companies you should be connecting with once you have your certification. It's one of the biggest benefits out there. Okay. So this is just a quick list. There's many more out there. Google, search engine, whatever you use, but make sure that you take this step. Here are the links that you can use to enroll. We will also be sharing these in the description of the video when we post it. This is where you go to get the information from each of the resources. And we also added a state list for those of you that don't want to start national and are interested in looking at more local resources. We thank you for joining us. I see in the chat that somebody's asking about paying someone to do this and whether or not it's worth it. My view on it is it depends on your current revenue or financial situation. If this is critical for your business, if you think it's going to drive more revenue and growth, and you keep delaying it for one reason or another, Natalie pointed out, it takes time. Monique pointed out, it is not easy. It's a task. You're going to have to put aside time in your calendar if you're going to do it yourself. Block morning coffee time, block evening hours, but make it an appointment with yourself to make it happen. If you can't get there and you have the funding, yes, there are third parties, but please make sure that they come from recommended resources. There are a lot of people that may present themselves as knowledgeable on this. I highly recommend that you go to the SBA's webinars to find out how they recommend you approach this. I didn't know they had those webinars until we saw this presentation. So use trustworthy resources before you put money or invest money with a third party to get your certifications. I hope this helped you get started, at least in the thinking process about the why. And we also hope that the Small Business Administration's presentation was what you needed to get that first connection point to get yourself started on this path. We thank you all for everything that you do every day to run these important businesses. We know that owning what's yours is hard and that you've got to just keep at it day after day. These resources should help you run your business, and we hope to see you back again for another webinar with Zen Business. Have a great afternoon.